Hello, folks, and welcome back to Bioshock 2. Also, listening to the little spike in the music there at the start. Just before I started recording, I was in the game and then I tapped out. My Twitch is still open. Um, uh, yeah, it seems like the audio balance that I'd set for the game doesn't extend to the main menu. Hmm. I was going to make a point while you had music, but I'll make it here while you don't. I was thinking, maybe I could do it while I'm playing. Oh, so sorry for the abrupt end to the previous set. It just I had to stop there instead of getting to come back to you. Maybe I'll do it while I'm in. So you can hear me. You could hear the game if the animal's playing. You can see it. I'm recording 51, 52, 53, 54. And now the music stops playing. It does not like if you alt tab. Does not like if you alt tab. So the point I was making. Um, What's her face was arguing that the guy from the first game, Lamb was arguing the guy from the first game was just as was more effective than his competitors that had free will, even though he had none, and therefore people should be mind controlled like he was. Thing is, though, he was given an overriding objective, while given complete free reign as how he went about it. He had free reign how he dealt with his sisters, for example. And he was just as effective after he was freed as he was beforehand. And the textures are not loading in there. There we go. He was just as effective afterwards as he was beforehand. And his greatest achievements came after he was mind controlled. He finished off Fontaine, who had clearly been backed into a corner and supercharged himself. He he sacrificed his vocal cords, becoming a partial Big Daddy. He partially went through the process. He just didn't have his skin stripped off him and stuffed into a diver suit. He just pulled the diver suit on. Um, he subjected himself to the stench of the Big Daddy pheromones, and like I said, had a basically a the blades go in and slice and dice his throat. So all he could do was the Big Daddy Will song. He struck down Fontaine, and then he gave the little sisters he rescued alive. Those were all things he did of his own free will. And like I said, he was no less effective with his free will as he was beforehand when he was mind controlled. So basically, I'm just saying again and again, she is completely full of shit. Her arguments are quite weak, and maybe she does know about the latter part, but it still breaks her argument. And even if she does know of the latter part, she probably doesn't acknowledge it. Her argument against free will being like, swear he will never be angry again, and that bollocks, that tripe, you know. Like I was saying before, seeing that quote, people don't have ideas. Ideas of people. When people get an idea into their head, they start seeing everything through that lens, and if something doesn't fit, they don't see it. It's just a case of that with Lamb. Like I was saying before, I feel Bioshock's 2 story was a lot weaker than the first one. In the first one, while you could disagree with Andrew Ryan, he struggled with his conscience. Lamb never does. He does go against his principles, but when things come to a head, things start falling apart on him, he's frantic to try and keep things together. Lamb just does it as a matter of course. Andrew Ryan does actually make valid arguments. You mightn't entirely agree with him, but some of his arguments do hold validity. Like saying in Bioshock 2 with the, government's just, sending little Timmy off to war for their war. Little Timmy has nothing to do with it, but he's now being sacrificed in their war. Lamb doesn't really have much of an argument. And no one should have free will. It's not really much of an argument. You know, So yeah, it's just I can't remember where I was going with this. I forget what I'm saying quite easily. I've too much going on in my head in general. But yeah, I just feel like Bioshock 2's story was a lot and like its crux of it was a lot weaker than Bioshock 1. Even the bits of Bioshock 1 that are carried over are stronger than Bioshock 2's original content. Um, Like Lamb just doesn't really have much of a thing. Like they gave Andrew Ryan depth, and he had some. Oh, I remember now. He had points like that you could agree with. He had points that you could disagree with. But Lamb in general was just no. She's just a nut job. You know, it's not said enough, but yeah, she's just a nut job. Also doesn't help. She sounds like some nasty school teacher. Well, at least Andrew Ryan had some bit of, you know, flair and pizzazz. You know, he had some degree of charisma, and he sounded, you know, he sounded good. And the second time you see him, when he's like trying to intimidate you and calls in the splicers and you flee in medical, I actually did kind of like the picture he put up of himself. Um, you know, he's got a lot more going for him than Lamb does. She just sounds like some bitchy teacher, and for a psychiatrist, she's actually rather dim. Though to be fair, the ones I've talked to are much better. Well, okay. To be fair, I've only talked to one psychiatrist. The others were psychologists, but the things I could tell you. Things I could tell you. I'm just not quite sure how to phrase it. But anyway, let's go on. But yeah, just in general, I find Bioshock's read wall. Alright. Bioshock 2. This guy was a traitor. CM Porter. Face looks familiar. Might remind me of some actor or maybe another video game character. I'll just take a little stroll around down here first. Corpse. Never. Little. Take. Piece. Yeah, there's mats. Mine. So, yeah, I just find Bioshock 2 was a lot weaker than Bioshock 1. I'm not sure how well this will stand, but Bioshock 2 was a lot weaker than Bioshock 1. Basically, the crux of what I was getting at, Andrew Ryan had points you could agree on. Points where, you know what, he isn't wrong here. While still being wrong on other points. And while he was hypocritical and did break from his principles, like outright he said at start, the artists won't be censored, and then he started killing them and blacklisting others. He did that when things came to a head with Fontaine, and he was grasping at straws. He even had a crisis of conscience later on. Well, the other one is completely. If she's a true believer, she has no such crisis of conscience, at least not in what I saw. And I think I missed more in Bioshock 2 than 1. While. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I did miss crucial ones. She's a true believer of it, while being hypocritical as par for the course. She's. And she just doesn't have good arguments. Her arguments are a lot weaker. They're a lot more nonsensical. And certainly I don't think Andrew Ryan's idea would work any better than hers. But at least like he would have points where you know what you can agree with him on this, but the way he goes about it's wrong, and so on and so forth. It's kind of like Senator Armstrong at the end of Metal Gear Rising. You know, people are just like, that guy's got a point. Obviously, I'm not a fan of purging the weak or him waging war as a business, even if it is to end war as a business. But he still does have a point. It's certainly much better than what Lamb has going for her. She just doesn't. Yes, there's issues with people having free will, but the issues with everyone being fucking mind controlled is no one has free will. The main guy had to have people point him in the right direction for everything. Otherwise, he would just sat there and done nothing. So, it's she really doesn't have anything going for her. But anyway, there is talk of a Bioshock 4. I can only hope it's better done. I think the guy who made 1 and 3 is still working at the company, but I don't think anyone really is much. I'm not sure how much weight people are putting on his involvement. Oh, so you can see through that. That's kind of obnoxious. Given how poorly received 3 was, Infinite, it's not really seen in too good a light. It was highly valued early on, but not anymore, and I'm not sure where I stand on it. I think it's a passable game, but I think 1 is probably better. I do love the ability to like revisit areas. That's something 2 lacks, and I do actually rather miss. I do like the returnability in the game. It does make it seem like a city rather than just a series of levels. Um, Being able to pull back to an earlier point, like you like to re-scavenge an area to, get something you missed or what have you. It's actually something you really do come to miss when you don't have it. So yeah, I hope if they do make if they are indeed making a fourth one, as rumors are stating, that they still haven't announced it as of time recording. Beyond that rumor that's allegedly being confirmed. But that's it. That they do have that going on in it. They do allow you to return to previous points and the like. The audio seems a little low here. It might kick in once I turn on the lights. But anyway, you can hear me, you can hear the game, you can see the game, and I'm indeed recording. I'll probably make this an extra long episode, just to compensate for all the talking. Maybe I'll do the whole thing in like 2-3 episodes. It's meant to be like 3-4 hours long.
Look at you, Sigma. You think that Porter is your ally, but the Thinker knows better. The Thinker knows.
What would Rapture be like without automation?
Fuck it.
Opening doors
Fuck
to
it.
pneumatic delivery. Rapture central computing keeps life running smoothly.
Fucking nudist.
The power is
No.
rerouted. That should tip things in our favor. Head up to my office in the executive wing. I've got something you'll need. Hurry now.
Actually, no, he's not a nudist. And there's music. Probably gonna give me a copyright claim, though. Haven't actually uploaded the rest as of yet. Oh, I can hack it. There we go. Yeah, it's probably gonna give me a copyright claim, but I haven't actually uploaded any of the rest yet. Just in the process of uploading the Killing Floor 2 footage that came before Bioshock 1.
What's the secret
Haven't
of
had
Rapture
space
Central
to
Computing
edit
success?
for the last while.
The most advanced computing device in the world. The Thinker.
Isn't that... No, I've read some spoilers for this guy. There's some other point I wanted to make that kind of threw shit on one of Lamb's arguments, but I can't remember what it was. It was something about Delta from the previous one. Cannot remember what it is. Take control with security command. Ooh. Ow. Ow.
Mr. Ryan hired me to build a computer that could keep an entire city running on time. The Rapture Operational Data Interpreter Network. Folks call it the Thinker for short. We've harnessed the power of Atom even in this, allowing the mainframe to process data at the speed of thought. In other words, it thinks for us. Yes. And with the completion of the independent reasoning processor, it may finally think for itself. If Turing could see me now.
That's in reference to Alan Turing, a a computing genius during World War II. The guy had a terrible fate, though. As much as his inventions were vital to British success, to the Allied success in the war, he was gay, and that was quite heavily frowned upon in Britain at the time. So much so that they chemically castrated him, forced him to take hormones that wrecked his mind and body, presumably. He ended up suiciding over it all, which I'm not surprised. Love has driven many a person to kill and die for another person, be it real love or bad sort of love, either or. But love is ultimately chemical. Now start flooding someone's body quite against their will with a chemical, it's probably not going to be good for their head. Other examples can be you get the wrong sort of antidepressant for you, ends up making you worse. Might be an antidepressant which you need, but it's the wrong sort of antidepressant. So, yeah. Poor son of a bitch helped them win the war, and then they changed targets. Here, I'll be back in 1 sec. Just something is bugging me here while I was making that point. Hey folks, and I'm back. Apologies. You can hear me. You can hear me. You could hear the game Evan was playing. You can see the game, and I'm de-recording. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. 1 sec. And I'm back. 52, 53, 54, 55. Just need to be sure I'm actually recording. Any time I've thought I'm recording, played it a ton, then wasn't. Let's just destroy it. I was thinking of trying to take it. Bastard. Sports boost. Also, I wonder how the hell Tenenbaum is recruited this Big Daddy. The other one I guess because, you know, he was still trying to find his little sister. But what's this Big Daddy about? Apparently this guy was here for the Tinker. I think the other guy said that at the start. Should have got 50 there. Thought I got the greens, the blues. It's also odd to see Big Daddies with powers, like they never had them in the previous game. Well, I guess idea what the hell fuck this was.
Those vacuum bots sucked up all sorts of things before they went on the fritz. Crack one open, and you might find something you can use.
You get an achievement if you get all 10. We'll do our damnedest. I do not like this gun.
I have my ways. This area is off limits.
Oh, it's potent. It just lacks. It just takes a moment to bring that potency to bear. So I suppose this isn't down, Nerdwinger. Which I suppose isn't the worst of sins, but what's up? Use that to hack things if I want to. I don't know. I still prefer a shotgun or a pistol. simply because, like, again, they bring their potency to bear a little bit quicker. And I suppose it isn't a bad gun. It is actually thinking about it, a little weird them having laser guns here. Just didn't have them in the rest of the game, you know? Well, in either of the other games, but this is for the unique to hero answers, so which is all, which would be odd, because aren't all like Big Daddies made by like Ryan Industries? So why would these have their own unique Big Daddies? Unless they have their own facilities, but kind of doubt that's the case. Fresh water, but fire! That was an odd one. Brando. Can't hear that name without thinking fucking JoJo's. It's like a brainworm. And to be honest, I've barely read it. Barely seen it. Christ. I should have filled that last one. But yeah, I've barely seen it. I started watching the first bit and it couldn't quite grab me. I was a bit antsy. I was trying to go to sleep that night and it was, I don't know. I know. I just couldn't get into it. I'll probably give it another try. All of it's on net. Well, the first 3 seasons are on Netflix. Though they folded season 1 and 2 together, which will throw you off. I know it threw me off. Fiery. Hunka hunka burning love. Wait, rocket security bot? Well, am I glad I stopped you? That explains why that guy went flying. Actually, how would that work? The kickback from the rocket firing should really blast you backwards quite drastically. Well, then again, they got mini guns on them, and that doesn't.
You make your monk no
I hope it's immune to its own rockets. Don't fire on the wall. Thank you. Beautiful. Also, one issue with Rapture is just like, apparently it's been degraded for so long. I'm surprised, given where it is, it's not worse. You know, like even in Bioshock 1, it's been trashed for like a year. You know, it's surprising it's not in even worse state, especially by the time Bioshock 2 rolls about. Nice. And it still bugs me that there's absolutely no build-up for Lamb in the first game.
Come on.
And like they stop doing that. They establish her as like a big thorn in Ryan's side beforehand, but it's all Fontaine. It makes it seem like there's only two two power factions on the field. Like, there might be the average civvy there, but there's 2 factions on the field of the fight. When in reality there's 3, but the third is pissing off elsewhere. They don't really give much of a time frame for when she breaks out of prison. So if from the phrasing of one of her logs, it makes it sound like she pops out afterwards, like after the war, like after Bioshock 1. But I know I ended up also thinking it was beforehand, so I'm just kind of generally confused. No, some of the lights are off. Is that like representative of their health? No, it's not. Would have been cute. But yeah, I'm not really sure on time frame. But you think still be would have been some degree of a reference to her? I know, it just feels like she's a bit from how Bioshock 2 builds her up. She would have been too significant for Ryan not to mention. Yes, just whack it with the laser gun. So.
Just a machine, eh?
The Thinker's perfect equation has predicted your every move, Sigma. It knew you would be here. It knows where you will be next. And it knows that you will fail.
Well, to be honest, it's kind of a linear corridor shooter. What do you know? What next?
Wall's become obsessed with perfecting his predictive equation. The Thinker can do plenty, but tell the future? No. The splicing drove him mad. Wall can rot here in rapture for all I care. We'll make a copy of the Thinker and return it to the land of the living.
Nice.
1,468 vacuum tubes, each with its own function.
Numbers don't. Yeah, number that, Poindexter.
Did you know that the Thinker processes the equivalent of 12,000 encyclopedias every day? The Thinker works hard for Rapture.
I have a question about this expense report.
Well, take a load off. Fucking rockets. Well, at least the much that dug in the window stopped. The music's a bit low. Wait, what happened to my bots? Did they go down to fight it? I think they tried to fight it and lost. So it'll be. I got another one on the ground down there that I can grab. Let's see if I can get the bot upgrade thing. Yeah, having some love for the spear gun right now. Don't think I'd really cared for it in Bioshock 2. I think it was too far across the keyboard. That's why I really like Half-Life, because it keeps everything nice and close to your movement keys. Thermal cell. You're really leaning more on the sci-fi side with this place, which I suppose makes sense. It's meant to be some computer lab, so you know it's kind of thematically fits. You know, one game I'd love to let's play at some stage is like Alien Isolation, but video policies and all this, I probably can't. I wouldn't know how to contact. I think Warner Brothers owns it, and they have no department that I can contact to allow it. Actually, I got through to them once, and they said no music in less than 5 minutes each episode. They then said usually, and when I asked them what about unusually, they clarified. They repeated statement excluding usually. So, and now that the email address I can't find the web page I found it on anymore, so I think it might be defunct.
Adam is a predatory substance. After exposure, a constant supply is required to maintain its effects. Otherwise, the user deteriorates into madness. My plasmid, which releases the little ones from their servitude, is promising, but limited. It only works on the children with the slugs in their bellies. On an adult splicer or Big Daddy, you'll see rejection effect. Undesirable. But if the deterioration of mind and body were reversible, if Adam's sickness could be cured, then its predatory nature would be no more.
Nice. I really didn't get to see much of her at all in the second game. I was really expecting her to turn up again. Maybe we have a fallout with Sinclair or something. Maybe we'll get to see a bit of her here. She was mentioned here again. Wish there was a way on the keyboard to change ammo type. Easier way. Less controls, yes. I prefer the UI in the second game, first game. Kinesis shield. We never got that. Maybe that was tier 3 kinesis. Middle mouse, right bracket. Yeah, we'll go with that. Went with Umot. I think that the button to the left is 1. Careful, hacker.
Hands off the equipment.
Now that's working as advertised. Leave it alone, it's about to be your brother. This guy was not a rocket one.
Over there.
Nice. Much better reload speed on that. Or refire speed. What? Bizarre. I reloaded. Oh, did I shoot it? Or did I just forget to reclaim it earlier? Maybe I shot it. I didn't think I had. Ah, alphas. Didn't realize I gone the wrong way. Tinker knows. That's fucking ominous. I'm kinda digging this so far. The
Thinker has shown me so much. My outlook was limited before. Ball games and stock prices, dollars and cents. No, the numbers spiral out. They touch everything. Hidden within them lies a predictive algorithm for you, for me, for the destiny of the base allele to the stretch of a galaxy's arm. The Thinker is destined to give birth to that crystalline equation, which determines all. I thought I knew its true purpose before. I thought Porter was the fool. Now I see. I was the fool all along.
Cody set up for us to hack. Wait, did I just double back on myself? No. Suddenly I just got a case of deja vu. Remote hack darts. Yeah, we didn't really see many of these once we got past the starting area, did we? And since you couldn't return, you know, there was no issue with that. Because you could just game it and just get, you know, an infinite amount.
That hack tool should come in handy. Head back up to my office.
Yet somehow we were hacking already. I have no idea how. And actually, the guy in the previous game was able to hack without any such gadget. Yeah. Oh, sup. So I got stuck on the other side of the blockade. Oh yeah, I was making a point earlier.
Minerva's den is mine. You think you can hack your way to the Thinker? You're welcome to try.
Try I will. I haven't tried to upload any of this yet, so I don't know. Oh, full. How many like audio claims I'm gonna get, or if it's still gonna be banned in Germany. Ah, grazie. Ow.
Rapture depends on the Thinker every day. Dispatching trains, connecting your phone calls, and keeping the air fresh. The Thinker, the most helpful machine in Rapture.
Ah, no, it's a stop.
Use your hack tool to spring open the door. That crack in the window looks big enough to get a dart through.
Big enough for me, well, no. I was gonna say me IRL to fit through, but I think my shoulder's a bit too wide for that. Despite being broken, that's still pretty damn solid. I could probably wriggle through. Also, I keep forgetting I have kinesis. No. I have to go back to the lobby. Also, talking about, you know, with the heavier sci-fi thing to it. Fucking laser gun, and I'm going to this guy's office. I'm suddenly flashing back to Prey. I do hope to make a sequel to that, but I really wouldn't mind a sequel to the original Prey. Don't know why they had to cannibalize the series.
All splicers haven't gotten into my office thanks to the Thinker's security. I'm giving you top-level access now. Alright? Beginning scan.
Why is the Tinker aiding him?
Scanning. Designation. Sigma. Please, come in.
Sorry I can't be there to meet you in person. You've seen the state of the den these days. It's the Thinker that's important now, though. I need you to get to the computer core and print a hard copy of the Thinker's machine code. Core accesses and operations. There's an Ops access punch card hidden in the compartment under my desk there. Grab the card and head for Ops.
Eye-catching panel. Let's just check the room first, though. Probably gonna get attacked the moment we grab that. Walking Inferno, hot as a plasmid in Rapture. Take less damage from fire and inflict more damage when you use fire. May as well put it in, we'll swap it out probably once we get some better. Random dead cat. Comforting. Must have been trapped in here. Poor thing starved to death. That's actually rather depressing. Nothing but ashes. I've read that as nothing but apples.
That first year in London working for Turing, I didn't see Pearl much. Spent all day and night in a government compound, building a computer to crack the Enigma machine. Pearl got pretty fed up with me. I didn't pay her heed. And then one night, I'm out in that complex, and the blitz starts falling. Next morning I came home to find nothing but ashes where I last saw her. Nothing but ashes.
Christ. Reminds me of Goodnight, Mr. Tom. And it takes place during the Blitz in World War II. You don't really see any of the bombings or anything like that, but it's still referenced and still doesn't have an effect on the story. It mostly focuses on the young boy and the changes that are brought in his life due to the Blitz. He's sent out to the countryside, meets a grumpy old widower, and you can kind of imagine how it goes. The guy ends up opening up to him, and he truly starts to care for the kid who he initially hates, and it's really sweet. The kids, I won't spoil it. But go read it. It's good. It's good. Also, oh, did not mean to waste that. Nice. So, ooh, laser and thermal. Okay, it's just alt ammo. All right, I was thinking it's separate gun initially. Why did you have explosive barrels here? Here, actually, 1 second.